Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 30 of Infinity Evolved. This is Woolrig, and I've been building my crafting processors. So I'm up to 4. I'm slowly adding pieces onto them. One thing to keep in mind is that while a CPU is running, you don't want to add anything to it because that will abort whatever it happened to be working on at the time. So, as you can see, they're all kind of haphazard right now. I'll clean it up and make it look nice and balanced. But basically what this allows me to do is I now have essentially 4 processors that can, do crafting jobs. So I can queue up, I can request as many as 4 unique things. But yeah, like I said, it's taken a while to build. If we look at our process here, so we've got 2 processors active, and they're mainly building these logic circuits and such, which is a very slow process. I have plans to upgrade that, but we're gonna let it do its thing. In the meantime, I want to go ahead and make something with my ender pearls that I've been accumulating. Which I have a lot of, and that is in thermal dynamics, thermal expansion, sorry, there it is, the Tesseract. So this is going to take some diamonds. That's okay, I got diamonds. I have a few. I don't have a lot. So what I'm running into is that, yeah, I've got 8 diamonds left. My quarry has not been running for a while. So I want to do a few things. The first one being that I want to make a couple of Tesseracts, and this will allow me to transmit and receive power, items, and fluids across different channels. So allows me to get the power that's in my house here out to where I need it, which is in my quarry. So I'm going to need some Enderium blend, which is, let's see if there's any easy way to make this without, doesn't look like, so tin, silver, shiny, and resonant ender, which we get from, looks like 4 ender pearls to make 1 bucket of resonant ender. Alright. Well, I got 5 here. Don't worry, I have more. I need a bucket. I need to teach the AE system how to make buckets. Fortunately, this is really easy to do. I'm actually on column 2 now. I've been adding recipes as I come across things that I feel like I probably need to have a lot of. Alright, so what did we need? So I need this Enderium ingot and an Enderium base, Pyrotheum dust, and ender pearl. Okay, so that's tin, silver, and shiny. 2, 1, and 1. So let's look at tin. There's that one. Silver. And shiny. Whoa, we don't have very much shiny metal at all. Holy smokes. Fortunately, I think I only need a handful of these. About that many. That. And something like that. So I'll get these cooked up in the alloy furnace here. I'll get the rest of this put together, and then we will use ourselves some Tesseracts. Okay, and like that, we have a Tesseract. In fact, we have 2. So what I'm going to do with these guys, put those pearls away. I'm going to put one of them downstairs, and I'm going to tie it right into my power, right about there. Oops. Oh, weird. Little kind of artifact. So with this, what I'll do now is I'll just make up some channel. I don't know what. Call it channel 10, and I'll even name it main power. And I will set it to always on. I will set it to sending energy. I don't want to receive any fluids, but items I do want to receive. And out of there, I need to figure out where my chest is up there. Because what I can do is use this one Tesseract to do multiple things. So let's get some item duct like that. And we'll go over to there. Must be right at the edge of my building capabilities. So this guy is tied to the energy duct here, and he's drawing power. But then he's also receiving items, which he'll send over and put into that chest. So now what we can do is head over to the quarry, and we'll make sure that's empty. That's set to furnace. Okay, so we should be all set to start processing that ore. So let's head over to the village and get our quarry working. Okay, it's been a little while since we've seen this, and as you can tell, it was, it worked, but it required a lot of, I don't know, stuff. Fortunately, we don't need any of these things now. Because what I can do, actually I might still want part of this. Let me leave some of this up, but most of this I'm going to take down. All this stuff with the combustion engines, we don't need. Because these guys are not going to be my power source anymore. And same with the water pump over here. I don't need this guy anymore. So we'll go ahead and tear him down. And then what we're going to do, get around my maze here, we are going to, actually, yeah, the Tesseract, it doesn't need to send items, I forgot. So we'll put him on here, tie him to main power, and set to receive all. On that. There we go, highlighted. And that should get us going. Or not. I thought that worked. It's not running. Okay, let me figure out what I've done wrong. So, did some checking, and it looked like the setup I had back over here, just over there a little ways, it looked like it was done working. It said everything was done. So I just went ahead and set it up in the default configuration the quarry uses. I believe this is like a 9x9. And as you can see, this is all feeding into our ender chest here. So we just put the ender chest right on top. And I've got my Tesseract set here, and I'm actually using these gates because I've got the Tesseract set to work off of a high signal, so if I turn this off, that guy will stop eventually. Well, whenever he runs out of power. There we go. And that's because the quarry will continue to draw power even when it's done. So I've got the gate set up here to send the red pipe signal when it has work. That goes over here and sets a redstone signal off the red pipe signal. And as you can see, this guy actually is cruising right along. I kind of want to see what this is doing to my reactor. Let's make sure we're all inside of a couple of chunks here. Looks pretty good. So let's head back to the base and take a look and see what this guy's doing to the reactor. Well, it looks like it's bouncing around 5 to 600 RF per tick, which sounds about right for what that quarry should use. Fortunately, our reactor here, this is set, it should be able to produce about 3000 RF a tick based on the configuration. So, you know, it's not too bad. Guys, just plugging along. We have used a fair amount of fuel and have been getting some cyanite. I haven't done anything with the cyanide, I've just been putting it into storage for now, which I should have to do here with all this stuff real quick. I'll probably use this the cyanide here at some point, but for right now, I've just been storing it. So while we've got the Buildcraft quarry going, and we should see our machines all queuing up and doing stuff here, or they're working so fast that they're just getting done. So yeah, it's going through things. Probably haven't hit any ores in a while either, so that'll just kind of run and do its thing. While we've used the Buildcraft quarry to this point, it's not the best one out there. There's actually a better quarry, and this is going to take the use of one of my favorite machines from Extra Utilities, the Quasar Entanglement Device, or the QED. And actually, the parentheses there, that name changes as we look at it. It's there. It's a quark electron detector. Yeah, it keeps changing. So what we need to do here is make some ender-infused obsidian, about 4 of those. Not a bad deal. We need 4 diamonds. Oh boy. Burnt quartz is a block of quartz smelted and ender-infused. Yeah, we got a few of those. So that's not bad. We need some eyes of ender, which, yeah, not too bad. We can get those. And the only thing otherwise is this burnt quartz. So how am I doing on quartz? I have been running around in the nether, so I should be able to make 4 of these pretty easy. Something like that. Oh, there we go. These guys are running. Iron ore. Good. That little 9x9 spot there is gonna... I'm probably gonna burn through that pretty quick, because that quarry's moving pretty fast. So let's grab... Oh, that was an alloy mode. Well, that's not what I wanted. Alright. Always check what state your furnace is in when you're working with Ender IO. So let's grab 4 of these and try it again. And that looks better. Burnt quartz. Okay. So if we look for our QED, what would quantum entanglement device? We're still the same thing. So we should be able to make... Whew, yeah, we've just about used up all of our pearls here, or diamonds, I mean. Fortunately, I have lots of ender pearls. Let's go ahead and just get the rest of this crafted up, and we have 1 QED. Now the QED is an interesting machine because it doesn't take power as you are normally used to. It actually needs to be powered from another block that I forget the name of off the top of my head. There it is, the Enderflux crystal. And so this is pretty simple. Good thing it doesn't take any diamonds. Enderflux crystal. Beautiful. And this looks like something I should teach the AE system, so let's do that real quick. Because, you know, why not? We got this thing, let's use it. So the first thing I'm going to do is teach it how to make those. And put them in the assembly here somewhere. Then, I'm going to teach it how to make these, which needs some blaze powder, which I already know how to make. That's just blaze rods thrown through the pulverizer, so that it's not terribly difficult. And like so, we should be able to now there we go. And this is important because the QED works off of these pumps, or whatever they're called. Yeah, the crystals. The crystals are what power it, and so they don't need to be powered themselves. They kind of draw power from the ender, I guess, the ender pearls in them. You know, something like that. So the more we have, the faster it will work. So let's just start with 10, which I need more ender pearls. I don't have my ender pearls tied into my AE system yet, but we can see here I've got 111. So we'll just take a few stacks and throw them in. And now we should be ready to go. We can craft 10 of these guys. Everything looks good. And they should actually craft pretty quick because everything in that recipe should come out pretty quick. And what we need to do with these is just kind of place them in the vicinity of the QED. Like that. And, oops, not you. Let's go with those. And sure, why not like that? That should work. So now that we have the QED, what we can look for is a ender quarry. So we have the buildcraft quarry running right now, but I think I want to build an ender quarry. And I can already tell you I am going to need more diamonds. Because as we can see, I need an endothermic pump. Actually, I need 2 of them. I need ender cores, which take magic blocks, which take enchanted books. So we've got some work to do to get those guys all put together. Yeah, I've got some work to do. And one of those things is I need diamonds. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any way to craft a diamond. Magic bees. I haven't gotten into magic bees. Extra bees. Translocator. Diamond nuggets. I can make it in a compressor with a coal chunk. I can craft diamonds? Ooh. This is going to take some exploratory research on my part, because compressed coal... I can craft diamonds. That's... oh sure, industrial diamond. Look at that. So that is using industrial craft, which I have not even remotely scratched the surface on yet. What? I can throw them in there and get... I can put in a diamond and get back a diamond. Okay. That's cool. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna look into that one some more. Give me a second. Okay. So, why not? Let's jump into industrial craft. Like I said, I hadn't really planned on that today, but hey, I'm flexible-ish. let's see what happens. So Industrial Craft, I'll be on. I haven't played with Industrial Craft in a long time. It's a very old mod, and old in the sense that it's been in modded Minecraft for a long time. But yeah, what the hey? Let's dive in. So this mod has a lot of machines in it, and it has really kind of some of the first machines. This was one of the first mods that I remember actually playing with machines and doing automation with and everything. And so I've kind of, like I said, I haven't done anything with it in a while, but that doesn't mean that it's not a good mod. I've moved on to other ones. So the main things that we're going to want in Industrial Craft is actually something I thought about building. I'm going to start, let's go ahead and create the extractor. And this is going to allow us to get a better yield out of our resin. So I've got those rubber trees out there that I'm getting sticky resin out of, and if I just put this in the furnace, I'll just get kind of 1 for 1. But if I put it through an extractor, I get a 3 to 1 return. So, you know, that's way better. So let's look in Industrial Craft, and one of the things we're going to need to make a lot of, so we might as well put it in the AE system, is the machine block, the basic machine casing, which takes iron plates, which needs a metal press or an engineer's hammer. That must be... there's the other one, the forge hammer. Okay. So I'm probably going to need... What? Isn't it just like that? Yeah, don't know why it didn't do that, but anyway. The other thing is I'm going to need a pair of wire cutters, I believe. And I think I can use the immersive engineering tools that I have. So, you know, instead of making new tools, why don't we just grab those? There's the wire cutters and the hammer. And we're going to start off with, we're going to be crafting a lot of things by hand. Eventually, we can actually set this up to be automated. But for now, let's go ahead and build ourselves a basic machine casing, which needs 8 of these guys. So like that and like this. We just make 8. And what you'll notice is that it actually does wear out the hammer. Industrial Craft would work the same way. This engineer's hammer is exactly the same as Industrial Craft's hammer. So that's why I would just rather use that, because I already have it. So that gets us that guy. What else do we need? We need some tree taps, and these are just made with wood, so that's not a big deal. Of course, they don't stack, so that's kind of a nuisance, but we'll live with it. The other thing we need is varying degrees of circuitry. So this being a very basic machine, we need some basic circuits, which require insulated wire, which we get from wrapping copper cable in some form of rubber, which we get that from wire cutters and copper plate. And you can see why I would want to automate this at some point, because there's a lot of kind of nested things here. But if I do that, okay, so that wire cutter is not going to work for me. So let's find the where's the wire cutters for this guy? It's just called the cutter. Okay. Which means I need some more plates. So I'll get 3 of those. There we go. Now we can take the copper and nope. That's what I'm doing wrong. Why is that? Oh, I probably need... What? That should work for me. I should be able to make those copper plates. Nope, not those. Too many versions of the same thing sometimes. Oh, so that one does need a forge hammer. Okay, let me make that. One forge hammer with 80 uses left. Okay. And actually what we can do is AE2 is smart enough to know if I tell it how to make the forge hammer, which I already did. Let's go ahead and put that in here. So now it can make a forge hammer. But if we have one, we can tell it that copper plus the forge hammer, actually that's a crafting recipe, so we can put that in here. And we can do the same thing with the iron. And what this is going to do is that it will automatically craft those forge hammers as it needs them. So as they wear out, it'll make new ones. And I will actually go ahead and do the same thing with the wire cutters because I'm going to want that. And now we know how to make wire cutters. Perfect. Oops, not that one. That one, the recipe, not the actual tool. Oh man. So now if we look under copper, we see we've got some copper plates. Let's just go ahead and make a few of them. They should make up pretty quick. And then we take that guy and the cutter, and we can get our copper wire. Perfect. And then, how are we on rubber? We do have a few pieces of rubber left. And copper wire. Let's just make a handful of those. And now we know how to make copper wire. And I believe that because this rubber, we've got the setting on here, so we or dictionary this. So we should be able to come in here and tell it to make, we need 6 of these for the circuit we want to build. And it's not going to or dictionary that. Okay, that's too bad. Because I thought I could use, I can't use the raw rubber, I have to cook it. This rubber, all you can do is just straight cook it, so that's not what I want there. What's supposed to be in there? I have no idea. Let's get rid of that. I don't know where the rubber went. Oh, it's taking that long to cook it. Interesting. Alright, anyway. This rubber should be or dictionaried. So if we try it again. Nope, still doesn't like it. Okay. Okay. I just went ahead and made them by hand because I need to actually get the extractor working before I have a good supply of rubber. But before we just go ahead and craft the circuit, we'll teach the AE system how to craft it. And that redstone. I think it's kind of a known bug that for some reason the industrial craft recipes don't always shift click into the crafting interface for some reason. Not sure why, but I know that's been a thing for a while. So, not uncommon. Alright, so now we should be able to craft a circuit. Just one for now. And then I believe we'll have everything we need to make an extractor. Cool. Now this guy, we should be able to, I don't know if it'll take power off of here. Let's see what happens. So if we go here, Put that on there like that. And run a wire there to there. Oh, says it's got power. Fantastic. And it's working. Cool. So that 15 resin should turn into, 40 some, 45 rubber. So that'll be nice. And in the meantime, we need to make the compressor, because this is the machine that's going to allow us to actually make diamonds. And as you can see, the compressor really doesn't take anything fancy, just another electric circuit, basic machine casing, and some stone. So let's go ahead and make that. Okay, just crafted the really the two complex parts I needed. The rest was pretty simple. I did forget to mention that you kind of need to be a little more careful than I was. I put this block down. Industrial Craft does a thing where I could break this with my pickaxe, but I run the risk that I probably won't get this machine back. So I'm going to leave it there for now and just kind of let it do its thing. And I don't mind just kind of shuffling that manually. But the compressor I actually want to make part of a crafting mechanism. So I want to put it somewhere that I can tie it into the AE system and then have it feed back. And I think this probably is not a bad spot. So I believe I can power it off of leadstone also. So let's see what happens when I do this and that. Do we get power? We do not. So we can get power off of immersive engineering, but we can't get power off of thermodynamics. So that is duly noted. I thought I could get power off of that. That's really strange. I bet it is... Let me try this. Because something serves my memory that you can... Yes, he doesn't connect at all. Is it that you've got to connect to a certain side? So output. Nothing. Okay. Let's put it on top. Nothing. Alright, let me figure out how I'm going to power this guy real quick. Okay, just doing some testing here, and this does work. So I can't put the energy cell directly on it, but if I go through the wire like this, this does actually light it up and we work. So I'm going to need to I'm going to need to figure out how I want to power this then. But I know that that'll work, so that gives me at least something that I can try to do. Okay, I think I've got this figured out. So I went ahead and put a leadstone energy cell down here as just kind of a buffer. And then I've got the MV wire connector that runs up here with a cable on it, and that's more than happy to provide me power. I've got it rigged up with the with a transfer node on the back, and that's just going to feed into the interface because that's the only valid storage location any of those can go. So that's going to pull the items out of there and put it back into the interface. I've got a hopper to put on top, and on top of the hopper I can just place my interface. And we'll go ahead and flip it around the right way. And if you were watching, you actually saw this guy lit up a channel over here, because these interfaces will pass data through each other. So this one should be ready to go. So now all we need to do is tell it how to craft the necessary things. And one of those is first one of these guys called a coal ball. So go ahead and get it to craft one of those. Which takes a little bit to craft because it's got to pulverize coal in order to get it. But once we have it, then we can send that guy into the compressor, and that actually gets us this compressed coal ball. So we go one of those and one of those, and put it into, and this one we're going to know that this is the hopper that doesn't have anything in it yet. So go ahead and put that there as the compressor. And then the last piece of this is, what exactly? So we ultimately need to make a coal chunk, which looks something like that, which is pretty easy. We got a bunch of obsidian, so we can do that. Gets us one of those. This is actually not a terrible recipe, I'll be honest. I was expecting way more. I've seen mods that allow you to craft diamonds in the past, and they always seem like they take a whole lot more to do. So if we queue up one of those, we see we're going to need quite a bit of stuff, 48 coal and some other things. So I'll let that run for a minute, or 15 minutes. Actually, no, it wasn't that bad. It did take a little while, but now we can come in here and tell it one of those gets me one of these in the compressor. Which we'll see if that is in fact true. So if we run downstairs, we should have that one guy in the compressor, and it's actually going really fast. I'm surprised. I am very surprised. We just made diamonds. We made a diamond. I did not expect that to be a thing, but we made a diamond. We got 3 of them. Let's just go ahead and, I don't know, why not? Nope, I don't have enough stuff for that. Probably don't have enough CPU power to do that either. Can we make that many? We sure can. But, oh yeah, so here's an example of where your crafting storage comes into play. So in order to do 30 diamonds, it needs to be able to store all of these items outside of the main storage. So we need 7,214 bytes, and I don't have anything that has that much. So, okay, let's just do 10. We can do 10. Let's do 20. And we could do 20. Perfect. Let's tell it to do 20. That's going to sit and run for a while. It tells me that the crafting status, that's 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 14 seconds. So, yeah, I'm not going to sit and wait for that. That's the valuable part of this, is your time. So, but I think that's a good place to wrap up the episode. For now, this is Walrig. Thanks for watching. Sorry we didn't get to the other quarry. We'll do that next time. But, when that's done running, I'll have 30 more diamonds. And we'll be able to do some fun stuff. Anyway, this is Walrig. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.